Hey everybody, it's Travis from Rotate Digital, and I've got some really crazy and exciting announcement and insight to the moving industry in 2025 that I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm just going to go right into it. That way I save your time and we jump right to it. So this is the most volume-based keyword that Google, when it comes to the moving industry, that Google Trends picks up and looks at. And so you could go to trends.google.com and look at any keyword, but this has the most valuable information. So I'm looking at the keyword movers. What I want to do is I want to look at the last 5 years. So we're going to look at 2020, the beginning of 2020 in terms. And just for those of you guys who don't understand how this works, I'm going to zoom up on this right here. This interest over time, 100 means look at this time segment and time frame. Whatever you see in this time segment and time frame, 100, no matter what it is, whether it's 1 million, 100 million, 12 people, doesn't matter. 100 means it's the peak of everything. It's got the most volume compared to all the other data points in this time frame. So 100 is going to be your peak, and then everything is ratioed based off that. So if you see a 50, that 50 is going to be in comparison to the 100 here. So I wanted to share with you where we came from, where we're at. So 2020 hits, 2019, end of 2019, 2020 hits. And so we have the January season comes down, and then we have 2021 starts coming up. We got let's see here. This is 2020 season. If we go back a little bit more, we have the peak here. It goes down, and this is not as bad of a winter season in 2020. Then it goes up. Then we go back down, just like the normal seasons in December. December is usually the lowest, and then we hit this huge high point here. And that is, as all of you guys probably remember, the year of 2022. Well, then what happens is it falls off in April for some reason, and then come the summer season, we hit this point in June, July. And then we come down to December of 2022. And for those of you who don't remember, December of 2022 is the year and the month that the federal government, the federal bank, whoever, the feds raised the interest rates, and everyone freaked out, rightly so. And so that was 2022. So you see in the summer of 2023, we had this massive squeeze. People got scared, people stopped moving. And so you can see here, this is the summer of 2023. This is the peak. Now, if you compare that peak, it was roughly 70% of the peak in basically 2022, basically 70-ish percent, maybe 75% from the peak in 2021. It was not a good year in the moving industry when it comes to that summer season. That was our peak. Then we went down to our normal winter season. You can see winter season was 36. It was the lowest it's been in the last 5 years. And I'll show you another screenshot or insight of this. It was the lowest it's been, which is crazy. Again, I'm sure you all very much remember it. Then 2024 comes around, and it was worse than 2023. Some of you guys maybe experienced a little better, but overall in the industry, the amount of people going to Google going movers, I want to find movers or moving company or something related to that, the amount was less than 2023, which 2023 in the summer season was already a drastic, gut punch, knife in the heart, and 2024 was not much better. In fact, technically speaking, it was lower volume and worse. And so that's kind of where we're at. Then we went into the winter season. You can see down here, the winter season was just as bad as the winter season in 2024, and it was just slightly worse than the winter season that hit in 2022. So it got worse. Then 2025 came, and we started going on this upward trend. And some of you guys have experienced some of the best summers you've experienced in 2 years. Why? Because we've had this upward trend that almost competes 93% of the peak that we had in March right here of 2022. And roughly the 2022 summer, it almost competes. It's like 93% of it. That's phenomenal. And so if some of you guys are sitting around here and you're going, man, I've experienced a better summer than I have in the last few summers, it's because more people are searching for movers. Now, that doesn't mean they're moving. What we have seen holistically in the moving industry, at least with the 170 clients that we have and the sales data that we have, is that there are a lot less people that are converting. They're interested in using a moving company. They call, they get a quote, and they realize my budget's tight. I'm nervous. I don't want to spend. I don't have as much frivolous income. And I'm actually going to try to do this on my own. Again, really good blog content, video content for your moving industry. I've talked to so many people. I used a mover, talked to people who moved during the same time as me, and they saved maybe $400, $500 because they've got all these things that come up, like the cost of a pod and the cost of getting a U-Haul last minute because it doesn't all fit, and the cost to go do that, the cost of gas. And it's like, man, you did 10 times more work and I only paid $400 more, and I was hands off. So very good content to put out there for your moving company right now. But you can see our peak was in July of 2025 to August 2nd, just this last week. And so far today, we start seeing our drop. Well, what's interesting is we're seeing our drop in July going into August, where in the past we've seen our peak in June, and then July it starts coming off. So things got a little bit more delayed this year. So overall, I think this is phenomenal news for the moving industry. We should be excited about this, that the peak interest, the more people are searching for movers, whether they're converting or not is a different story, but more people are going, I think I want to move, and I think I want a moving company. That's a win overall, despite the real estate market being very stagnant overall. This is a win. So let's celebrate. Let's enjoy that moment. You can see the interest. What are the areas that have the most interest in the keyword movers? The top 5 subregions: District of Columbia, I won't say why; New York, Texas, people are moving around in Texas; Illinois, I won't say why; Florida. So these are all the biggest subregions. I want to go through these because these are kind of fun. The metro area in the last 5 years: Washington, D.C., Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Austin, Texas, New York. And then the little cities, these are little pockets of like increases of people moving in or moving out. Boardman, wherever Boardman is. Who's in Boardman? Put a comment in this YouTube video. Leesburg, honestly, who's in Leesburg? I don't know any of these cities. Washington, Dallas, New York. I find this interesting. If you look at just the last year, right? We look at the last 12 months and we look at that same thing. Here's that graph. You can look here again. Now the 100, because the timeline has changed, the 100 is in this graph in this year, right? And obviously the peak is the summer season versus the low winter time. You can see that winter time stayed a long time, August, and basically kind of hovered around that winter season of February. But we come down here and we go to that same thing. Subregion: District of Columbia, New York, Texas, Virginia, Massachusetts, but metro area: Washington, Austin, New York, Houston, Dallas. So very, very similar. Now, I want to just give you a quick highlight of where we've come from. If we look at 2004, the time that Google Trends started looking at this data here, you can see the ups and downs. And again, up and down, and then you have this big peak in July of 2007. Well, then what happens in 2008, March of 2008? You get this crisis in the financial and real estate crisis. But look at right here, man. It's 71 was basically the aftermath of that 2008, and by 2009, the next year, it was back at 75. Just to remind you guys where you've been at, you're losing hair like me, the stress. 2023 only at 69, where during the financial real estate crisis, it was 71. And again, during the peak over here, we were 66, 67. Again, financial crisis in 2008, 2009, there was more people searching then than there was the last 2 years. But again, look at that big peak back up. So you can see the cyclical event that happens with people searching for movers: summer season, winter season, summer season, winter season. Then you got 2019, you got COVID, right? March 2020, drives down in April 2020, and then this massive spike back up. 2020 here goes back down. 2021, we have the peak, the behemoth, everyone's summer that they love. And then 2022 here, you get a peak back up again, and that's kind of July. And then you go downward trend. Feds raise the rates. We have this very soft 2023. Back down, worst winter we've seen in a while. Then this very soft 2024. But again, here we are celebrating. Very big uproar this summer, and a higher uproar than normally, because we're only starting to fall back down in August, where normally we start to fall back down in July. So I wanted to just share that update. It's the 2025 update on where we've gone. I brought this to the industry a couple of years ago, showing the updates. I just wanted to keep you going on this. In the comments below, wherever you're seeing this, ask any questions you have about subregions or trends. I'd love to answer that on additional videos. So you can see here the related queries. If you want to go and have some fun, you can go to trends.google.com. Again, if we're going to put the last 12 months, and we're going to go down here to related queries, we're going to go to top, and we're going to go to top. You can see movers near me, movers moving. What the heck? Best movers, movers cost. Movers cost is interesting. I personally have not seen that in a while. If you go back to my video just a year and a half ago, movers cost was not in there, which means people questioning the cost of a moving industry starting to come up. What it could mean is, hey, time to share a little bit more transparent pricing. Time to open up the books so people can grasp that and process that. But you can see kind of what's going on here. Local movers, truck movers, home movers, piano movers. Have some fun with this. If you have questions, put in the comments. Hope this was valuable. Enjoy. Hope you guys had a wonderful summer, and I hope you capitalize on this, and we will see you on the next video.